Welcome back to Home Gym History here at Home Gym Con. So, James, I just had the pleasure of walking around the Mayhem booth here at Home Gym Con, and James showed me some of the deep dish weight plates that he designed. And there will be a video on Vintage Weights PGH, my YouTube channel, that's going a deeper dive into those weight plates. But on this episode of Home Gym History, I want to get just that, James. I want to get like the modern history maker. I want to get the history of Jimbrows, Mayhem, you yourself in terms of strength pursuits.
Yeah,
So you think you can provide that?
absolutely.
All right, man. So
Happy to be here.
let's for listeners who may have never even heard of Mayhem or Jimbrows, could you give just a quick like what are you gonna find if they look you up if they
Yeah.
click in the description?
Yeah, to give you the kind of quick elevator pitch, if you will, what I like to say is Jimbrows is kind of like the Costco of gym equipment, if you will, right? You get your cardio, get your flooring, you get all the stuff you need for your, house or gym, whatever, the analogy. I think you guys get it. But with Jimbrows being the parent company of Mayhem, our brand Mayhem Strength is essentially like what Costco's Kirkland Signature is.
All right.
Okay, kind of make it in terms that everybody can kind of understand here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Nice. So then Jimbrows might have any number of items for sale.
Absolutely.
But then their signature brand is Mayhem.
exactly. So, like, it also allows us to extend our reach outside of like just strength equipment.
Yeah.
Jimbrows is the cardio piece, the flooring piece,
Gotcha.
the service piece of install, delivery, that good stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas Mayhem is just the brand of strength equipment. It's a very technical, very manufacturing based, focused company, and having the two separated kind of gives us the freedom to explore our dreams and passions through Mayhem, and then Jimbrows is kind of like the workhorse that is kind of just there for everybody.
So then what's your personal involvement, with the company and your backstory?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been in fitness pretty much since I was a kid, running around the soccer field,
Yeah.
at 7 or 8 years old, swimming pools. Always been a big fan of water, like being in the ocean and the pools has been a passion of mine since I was a kid. And so when I got out of high school, wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I was kind of a knucklehead, and
I know the feeling.
yeah, if I went to college, I knew that nothing good was going to happen of it. So kind of looked towards the military and joined the Navy. Wanted to be a SEAL, but that didn't work out. So I ended up being a rescue swimmer, and did that for 6 years. Got out in 2022, and immediately got out and went to trade school to learn CNC design, 3D CAD, AutoCAD. Sorry, my voice is shaky. I'm like, I just got done.
Yeah.
I just done doing a lift.
It's just the strongman log liftoff is going on downstairs, and while James was waiting for me to meet up with him, he decided on the spur of the moment to jump in there and try a lift. So
Hit my head on the log there. It was fun.
cleaned it.
Yeah.
And you were inching.
I was so close from lockout bay. It was all right though. First time.
And I just competed in the grip strength competition that I put on this morning here.
It's
at
awesome.
Gym Con. So we're both a little beat up.
I got to get in that next time. The grip strength stuff's cool.
It was a lot of fun. Brand new. Never done it before,
Wow.
which I think is really cool to just kind of broaden the sport, broaden the strength pursuit.
Absolutely.
But to bring it back to Mayhem, so then, you're coming through into your civilian life, out of the military, and you're learning a trade,
Yep.
CNC, and
Yeah, I guess I
Go from
should.
there.
Yeah, I guess I should preference that by saying that I had started Jimbrows kind of indirectly through just kind of literally just getting equipment for my home gym, and I happened to stumble across this guy. It's that typical dream Facebook Marketplace buy.
Yeah.
I got this dude's like old vintage plates that I was telling you about. I got the Pacifics. I got the Olympic like barbell, just like old rusty plates, like about 500 pounds of it.
Yeah.
I was super stoked because I was like, I used to train at a gym that was basically full of nothing but just like old school, iron plates and
Yeah.
bodybuilding machines. And so I was like I was very, very happy with that. But, just as any of us, have the urge to be like, all right, I need to like kind of upgrade these things. I got some, kind of like old janky stuff that I didn't really want, but I refurbed it, cleaned it up. And when they announced the gyms were closing, like all of my listings that I had up for a long time just exploded. And it was crazy. And so, yeah,
That was me. So yeah, absolutely.
literally, yes.
That was a wild time for not just like vintage waste collectors, but that was a wild time for anybody.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
just through prices.
Yeah, and all the gyms were shut down.
Yeah.
So,
People were just scrambling,
like,
scratching and clawing for whatever they could find.
yeah, if you wanted to train, you had to do something. Otherwise, you were going outside and doing some calisthenics.
Absolutely.
Nobody wants to do that. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so that was kind of the birth of Jimbrows. And then as we kind of started getting into more of, helping other people find their stuff, we were getting requests for certain pieces of equipment, hey, you got iron plates, you got rubber coated plates, you got this, you got that. And it just became really, really like stressful for me to like source all of this used stuff reliably.
Yeah.
So I kind of just, thought about it for a little bit, and we actually started with a made in the USA squat rack. I don't really talk about this very much, but because it was kind of a failed project, because I didn't really want to pursue it too much after that, because I ended up realizing like how much it went into it. But crazy amount of learning and experience I got from that process is immediately directly has helped me with all of the other projects that we've worked on. So it wasn't for anything, but the project overall was a flop. But we started out with the Made in the USA squat rack. And so once we kind of did that, we were like, oh, okay, we can make something. Why can't we just do the same thing for plates and then do the same thing for machines? And so we kind of just started looking around for suppliers and ended up finding a really, really solid factory in China that we use now for our machines. And, we're going there to visit on Wednesday, and we'll be there for like 3 weeks.
Interesting.
And, we went last year around this time too to kind of do the same thing. So, Mayhem.
What do you decide? Like, what are you meeting with executives or something? Like, what are those couple weeks like?
Absolutely. I mean, the Chinese are very cordial, so they want to, we're going to go have some lunch first before we even go to the factory or talk business, just kind of like catch up, do the formalities and stuff like that. And then, typically you'll get brought to the factory. They'll walk you through, kind of explain all the things that are going on. And then you get to kind of just watch. Like last year when we went to our urethane plate factory, I literally took the hydraulic press and inserted the stainless steel insert on it, which was really cool to do. And it's like I got to literally experience what it's like to make the plates, which makes us that much more knowledgeable.
Because I mean, some people don't care at all, whether it's made overseas. Other people, they tag like a lowering of quality to something made overseas. So it makes me think when I hear like you're going to visit for a couple weeks, it makes me think, oh, okay, well, this is a little better. That's good to hear.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are maybe.
If my mic turned on. Hello. Yeah, I think my mic turned on.
Oh, shit.
So here.
Oh, man.
We'll just share. Are we still live here? Yeah, we are. Okay, cool. So we'll just share. Yes, kids playing and singing on here. Hate to sound like a
Yeah, no, I wish there was like a light or something.
old man. All right. Well, we'll make do. So the important stuff is coming from you anyway. All right. So in any case, when I see made overseas equipment getting knocked for quality and things like that, I wonder if people heard of this part of the process that you're spending a couple weeks touring the site, seeing how things are done, would make them feel a little better about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why this time that we're going there, we're going to actually be documenting a lot more of the process. So last time it was more about just like looking it out, scoping out what exactly goes into it. Now this time we're actually planning to bring camera crews, setting up all of the different stations of the processes that requires for each different product. And we're going to be documenting all of it.
Very cool.
May or may not release all of it, but
Yeah,
if you guys are interested in some of that stuff, head over to our YouTube channel. We'll be posting a lot of that good stuff, Mayhem_strength or Jimbro_fitness on YouTube and Instagram. But
I'll make sure we drop both of those in the description of this video and on our Spotify and everything. So when it comes to your manufacturing process, you get that dialed in, and then you've got your process over here in the United States in terms of promotions, things like that, advertising. How do you best, besides visiting Home Gym Con, how do you best try to get the word out there about your product?
yeah, it's a great question to ask, because I think it's relevant for pretty much any business owner anybody that's trying to send anything across or change anything. You have to really come up with a plan to get your message across. And for us, we've been really predominantly present on social media. We were posting like 48 times a day last year. Like at a certain point, we're posting 2 times a day, 7 different platforms on Mayhem, two times a day, 7 different platforms on Jimbrows. And so it just kind of takes a little bit of planning, but we kind of batch content and um, put out good quality, informative videos such as this one.
Yeah.
Coming to Home Gym Con, it's great. But if you're not putting some content out after that or about that, talking about that, then kind of doing it yourself a disservice. And then just outreach, cold outreach. You can just reach out to people, talk to your local network. I can't even tell you how many friends in the Navy, like my squadron that I was in, those guys were like the first supporters of Jimbrows, because everything was closed, and they're like, man, base gyms is closed. Like, what the heck? Like, hey, I have like literally 2,000 pounds of upper plates. Like, I had like nice urethane American barbell plates that I got from this Olympic lifting gym that closed down.
Wow.
And I had buddies come buy some of that stuff, and then I, hooked some other guys up with, racks, all that good stuff. So it was it's very rewarding for me. I think my brain just really rewards myself chemically for helping other people get gym equipment. I don't know why, but I think it's just my way of like helping the world, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I can relate to that because I buy and sell a lot of stuff on the used market, collecting the old weights that I do, and my gym is fairly small, so when something comes in at this point, something needs to leave. But it's a rewarding feeling because when someone comes to my place to pick up something, and I don't care what it is, maybe it's a barbell I'm selling or something on Facebook Marketplace, no one's buying exercise equipment, no one's buying strength equipment who doesn't want to better themselves. So every single person that shows up, they have a story that they're, usually relate. Sometimes it's just a dry offer of like, here you go, here's your money, and thanks a lot. But most times, more than not, they say, oh yeah, I'm setting up a home gym, or oh man, this is just what I needed. Like, this is the thing I was looking for. So I can imagine if that's rewarding on the small scale for me, on a larger scale, that would be rewarding. So then, what have the challenges been in terms of the growth of your company? You mentioned the squat rack that was chalk it up to like a good learning experience, but not the best financial return. So other than that, what are some other challenges as you've been growing Mayhem and Jimbrows?
Oh man, too many to count, honestly. But I'll try to like give the biggest few problems that we've had. I mean, being a business owner really requires it requires all the skills that you've accumulated throughout your entire life. I truly believe that, and I've utilized all the things that I've learned, but there's definitely deficits in like leadership, right? I wasn't in a leadership role when I was in the Navy. I was just an enlisted E5. I'm kind of the bottom of the totem pole, the workhorse from being that. And then I guess I could say that was the biggest challenge initially. Was I was full-time active duty trying to run essentially 2 companies full-time, like doing several, a lot of money, a lot more money than I was making in my W-2, whereas like the business was doing very well at that time, obviously because the demand was there. So the challenge there was just trying to time management. Like, how do I, when I'm flying in the back of a helicopter, I got to kind of what's the word?
Mentalize.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to, box the thoughts and idea, all the stress of that, and put that away for a second. Just focus on, what's in front of me, and then, when I land, put the CEO back, hat back on, and it's very stressful to have to shift gears like that, back and forth, back and forth. Luckily, that 2 years is gone since I've been out, and now it's more like leadership, holding people accountable, creating systems and processes, SOPs. But I'll say this: if you're a veteran or if you're in the military, you have a lot of the tools you need already to run a business successfully. I think you learn SOP, you learn uniformity and policy, and you also learn discipline. So all these things are very applicable, and I encourage you to think about it in a way of like, a lot of people don't realize this, but the military is actually like a business. It's the business of war. And so they take people that are, don't know anything and teach them how to fly killing machines essentially, or tanks, or jets, or whatever it may be. And it's not the chief chief naval officer that's teaching these guys. It's people that have been trained on how to teach people how to fly these things and do these things. And it's a very dangerous job, but they do it successfully because they have those very rigid, structured, syllabuses and courses and classes that you have to take. And all of these things are exactly the same way that a corporate entity would scale and become, global enterprise such as the military.
I'm a veteran myself. I was in the Air Force, and I would agree. And I think even in the content creation and stuff that I do, podcasting or making YouTube videos, I know it's kind of it might sound silly, or like connection to military, but the things you mentioned, like the discipline of it, and just the go time that can be nerve wracking about to hop on the mic or hop on the camera, and it's like, oh, it's time to do it. Like, my guest is ready. Here we go. So yeah, I mean, I think those skills aren't wasted at all. And I didn't realize till you just mentioned this that there was that overlap you had. So that had to be a tumultuous time where you're still working full time, active duty military, and getting the business on its feet. So what was that's one thing I wonder before we wrap up is, what was that like, the transition to like, okay, now I'm just full time Jimbrows?
Yeah, I mean, it was, I'll say this, like, my girlfriend, shout out to her, Emily, if you're watching this, God bless your heart, because I couldn't have done it without her. I'll say that, I have to put that out there, because she was the one that was holding down the fort at the warehouse when I was on deployment, making sure people were showing up, paying the bills, all that good stuff. So for one, you can't do it without, family or support around. And then two, it's like, the process of transitioning is very, very, very difficult. Mentally for me, it was a complete change of pace. Cause I had a lot of like anxiety a lot, cause I was like, for one, during COVID, we had to sign a page 13 saying that we weren't literally going to do anything besides drive to work, go home, and like quarantine. But that is not what I was doing.
Yeah.
And the way I was able to do it was that we were working like a A/B schedule. So they split the whole command into two groups. Yeah. So like, blue team would go in on Monday, gold team would come in on Tuesday, and then alternate. So I was only going into work every other day. Yeah. So I was doing all kinds of stuff on my days off. I'd go up to LA, go through this garage gym who's got all this stuff to go through, and just have my, just do my thing. And in that, I had to be very low key at work. I did not talk about what I was doing ever, so that was another thing. It was like, I just had to kind of bottle everything inside, not talk about it, except for like my close friends, because I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't like ask my command if I could start a business. And like, so there was that like secrecy part of it that was just very stressful. Like, I didn't want my chain of command to be like, what are you doing? Like, stop it. And then I'm like, oh God, I can't, like, what am I going to do? So, it was very stressful there, but, getting out I had got out about 4 months early to go to trade school, and I was going to work maybe like 9 to like 3-ish. Trade school was like, you had to be there at 7:00 and you were done at 4:30 every single day, and you had like half-hour break. So it was tough. Like, we were there like a lot, and it was Monday through Friday. So that transition was kind of unexpected, because it was like, I had more time than when I was in trade school. But then I was like, I still have to run this business while I'm in trade school, but now I'm working way longer hours, and I'm still trying to learn, but I needed to learn those skills. So I had to pay attention in school. Yeah. So yeah, just the time management thing, the, I can't talk today, prioritization of different, tasks, and kind of just managing things that way.
So then here on the Home Gym History Podcast, you're far from the first company owner that mentioned like COVID-19, the gym shutdown, either how that sparked your business or how it affected your business. So looking forward, since that's at this point in the rear view, at least the gym shutdown portion of it, what kind of goals or what kind of things can you mention, if you don't mind, revealing too much about what's coming down the pipe for Mayhem and Jimbrows?
Boy, We got a lot of stuff coming in the pipeline. I mean, a lot of our businesses are wrapped around the commercial side of it. We do focus a lot of our energies currently on the commercial gym build out equipment and the process of building out that facility in the most efficient manner. And that has definitely consumed a good bit of our recent focus. But we have, like the leg press hack squat combo that you saw downstairs. We're going to be looking at seeing a refined, better version of that for home gym, users. We're looking at, we're now working with Kabuki, with their bars and stuff like that, and kind of bolstering their efforts on their that front. We have gold calibrated plates that we're bringing in, the gold chrome calibrated plates. We're just now releasing this weekend the chrome deep dish iron plates, which we saw downstairs earlier, which, we have those in 4 different flavors, the raw, the black, the silver chrome, and the gold chrome. And then, we have functional fitness stuff coming in, plyo boxes, power bags, wall balls, kettlebells, all of that stuff. So we're kind of trying to attack the functional fitness market and the commercial gym plate loaded strength, like the leg presses, things like that, which can all be used in home gym settings, of course. But it's more of a it's something that we're gonna we want to take the most ideal setup for like a home gym person, right? It was like, okay, what could I do if I could just have one machine that does kind of everything that I need. And we have a design of a machine that's a leg extension, leg curl combo that also has an adjustable pulley on the back of it that could function as like a low row, a lat pull. It'll have a similar to what you saw downstairs, a connected, lat pull down station. So it literally can do pretty much everything you could possibly want, outside of yeah, exactly. So
barbell dumbbell.
Yeah, and yeah, that machine has been in the works for a really long time, and it's based off a machine that I actually found during COVID that I bought for $200, and my goodness, that was the best machine. Maybe we can maybe I'll find a picture of it, and you could put it right here.
Any pictures? I'll drop them in.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You could put a picture of it, but it was exactly that. It was a leg extension, leg curl, prone leg curl combo, and it just had a low pulley on the back of it. But I picked it up out of some dude's yard, pretty much, for $200.
That's my style.
Covered in rust, dirt. I cleaned it all up, and it was the best machine for my home gym. And I ended up basically took that concept, revamped it, and hopefully we'll be able to bring that one to life. But that's going to be a really, really nice one for the home gym. So excited for that. We have, custom urethane options that we're working on, different diameters, colors, finishes.
They love custom.
Customization. We want to, make your gyms feel like it's yours and, unique without, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not always possible, but, we're trying to do our best to get that accessibility to you guys.
Cool. Well, James, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you coming on the podcast, but also for giving me a little tour downstairs. Hop over, listeners, to Vintage Weights PGH a little later after this podcast to check out the video of the deep dish plates where I compare some of the Mayhem deep dish to some of my vintage deep dish and kind of see what are the similarities and differences. Thank you so much, James.
Hey, thanks for having me, and keep up the great content, man. Seriously, I really liked watching. I like watching your videos, that restoration video of that globe barbell was that's I'm jealous.
That was an adventure. Opening that thing was an adventure, but it's also just a cool barbell to have. I've been using it for all kinds of stuff, to warm up for deadlifts. I've been using it just to do rows and all kinds of stuff, high pulls. So yeah, I love it. Well, hey, thanks so much. Let's get back downstairs and see what's going on at Home Gym.
Awesome. Don't forget to subscribe and follow this guy, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Absolutely.